Ever feel like we're living in some kind of sci-fi movie where everything is connected? We order groceries with a tap, stream movies instantly. Even our watches are talking to our refrigerators.
It's wild, right?
Well, get this. Behind the scenes, it's all powered by these things called APIs.
And what's fascinating is most people don't even realize how profoundly APIs are reshaping the business landscape, how we interact with technology, everything.
Okay, so before we dive into that, let's make sure everyone's on the same page. What exactly is an API, and why should we care?
Okay, imagine you're at a restaurant, right? You've got the menu in front of you.
Got it.
That menu is essentially an API. It's a way for you, the customer, to communicate your order to the kitchen, which then prepares and delivers your food.
So instead of a greasy menu, we're talking digital messengers. They let different software systems talk to each other, share information, work together.
You got it. You got it. And just like that restaurant can add new dishes or update prices without printing a whole new menu, APIs allow businesses to adapt and innovate much faster, be more agile,
That's where this report you sent, the State of the API Industry, gets really interesting. It talks about how businesses are moving away from these giant, clunky software systems and embracing a more modular approach, like building blocks.
Exactly. Think of it like building with Legos versus trying to carve a castle out of a single block of wood. APIs provide those modular building blocks that businesses can plug and play to create custom solutions.
And that's got to be huge for agility.
Yeah.
Right? Which, by the way, the report calls out directly, saying adaptability, not efficiency, must become our central competence.
It's not just about being efficient anymore. It's about being able to pivot on a dime. Imagine a sudden shift in the market, a new competitor emerges, or your customers' needs change overnight.
Yeah.
If your systems are rigid and inflexible, you're sunk. But if you've embraced this API-driven approach,
You can swap out components, connect to new services, and adapt at the speed of the internet.
Precisely. And that's the kind of agility that separates the winners from the also-rans in today's fast-paced world.
Okay, so we're talking about building businesses with APIs, like Lego bricks, right?
Yeah.
This report throws another term at us, API products. What makes them different from just, APIs?
Okay. Think about it like this. You could buy all the individual ingredients to bake a cake from scratch, right?
Right.
Flour, sugar, eggs, the works.
Yeah.
Or you could grab a pre-made cake mix that bundles everything you need.
Oh, okay.
API products are like those cake mixes for the business world.
So instead of a jumble of ingredients, you get a ready-to-go solution.
Exactly. An API product packages multiple APIs together, along with documentation and support, to solve a specific business need. Need a robust online payment system.
Right.
Boom, there's an API product for that. Want to add real-time inventory tracking to your logistics operation? There's an API product for that too.
That's got to be a game changer, especially for smaller businesses that don't have the resources to build everything from the ground up.
Absolutely. And it's not just about convenience either. API products often leverage the expertise and best practices of leading providers, meaning businesses get access to cutting-edge solutions without the headache of managing all the technical complexities themselves.
Now, this next part really caught my eye in the report. They highlight a new role, the API product manager. That says something about how seriously businesses are taking this, right?
Yeah, it's a clear signal that APIs are no longer relegated to the back rooms of IT departments. Having a dedicated product manager means someone is thinking strategically about how APIs can solve business problems, drive revenue, and even create entirely new market opportunities.
So for our listener out there, maybe they're prepping for a big meeting, maybe they just like to stay ahead of the curve. How could this rise of API products directly impact their world?
Let's say you're in the financial services industry, right?
Okay.
An API product could streamline the entire loan application process, from credit checks and risk assessments to automated approvals, making life easier for both your team and your customers.
Or imagine you're in healthcare. Securely sharing patient data between hospitals, labs, and insurance providers through API products.
Right.
Could revolutionize patient care.
Exactly. It's about breaking down those traditional silos and fostering collaboration in ways we never thought possible.
Okay, so we're talking about businesses building entire strategies around these API products.
Right.
Which, by the way, can involve a lot of individual APIs, all working together behind the scenes.
Lots of them.
So how do companies manage all of that complexity? The report mentions something called platform teams.
Right.
What's the deal with those?
So platform teams, those are like the unsung heroes of the API world.
Okay.
Think of them as the master architects, right?
Okay.
And the traffic controllers, like of a company's entire API ecosystem.
I like it.
So they set the standards, they build the tools,
Yep.
and they ensure that everything runs smoothly and securely, especially as things scale up, you get more and more APIs.
So instead of each team creating their own APIs in isolation,
Right, which would be
which could lead to a real mess,
total mess.
there's a centralized team providing the guidelines,
Right.
making sure everything plays nicely together.
Exactly.
That consistency is crucial, especially when you're talking about things like security and reliability.
For sure. Absolutely.
Which brings up a really important point. The report actually dedicated a whole section to API security. And let's be honest, with all this connectivity, the risks are real, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You're essentially creating these digital doorways into your systems, right?
Yeah.
And you need to make sure those doorways are, well guarded.
Yeah.
The more central APIs become to business operations, the more attractive they become to bad actors.
So what's the solution? How do we lock down those digital doors?
Well, we're seeing a rapid rise in something called API protection platforms.
What?
These are specialized security solutions designed specifically to identify and mitigate API-specific threats.
Okay, so think of it like a high-tech security system for your APIs.
Yeah.
Constantly monitoring for suspicious activity,
Excellent.
blocking attacks, making sure everything stays safe and sound.
That's it.
That's reassuring because it sounds like we're going to be seeing even more of this API stuff in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, the report ends with some predictions about where the API world is headed.
Yeah.
Anything in there that really jumped out at you?
Well, one trend that I find particularly fascinating is the emergence of what they call API as a product businesses.
Okay.
These are companies entirely focused on building and selling API products as their core offering.
So instead of building a traditional software product, they're creating the building blocks for other companies to create digital experiences.
Exactly. And this is significant because it speaks to the growing maturity and specialization within the API economy as a whole.
Okay.
We're moving beyond just using APIs to connect systems internally. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how businesses are built, bought, and sold.
Wow. So APIs really are shaping the future, even if we don't always see them at work.
They're behind the scenes, but they're shaping everything.
So for our listener who just took this deep dive with us, what's the key takeaway? What's the one thing they should remember about the world of APIs?
I think the biggest takeaway is that APIs are the foundational building blocks of the modern digital world, right?
Yeah.
They enable the agility, scalability, and interconnectedness that businesses need to thrive in today's rapidly evolving landscape.
Yeah.
Understanding APIs, even at a basic level, it's no longer a luxury. It's quickly becoming essential for anyone who wants to stay ahead of the curve,
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Next time you order food online, book a flight, or do basically anything on your phone, remember those tireless APIs, working behind the scenes, connecting our world in ways we never thought possible.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That's it for this deep dive into the world of APIs. We'll catch you next time for another fascinating journey here on The Deep Dive.